Seclo Sounds, the community station you've been waiting for.
You're listening to the Sticks Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds, and you just heard from the album High Fidelity, the title track, and that's from my guest today, none other than Alan Hewitt. And let's rejoin Alan.
I know. Well, this is your 12th album, and many say your best one. I mean, I'm not saying it's what the critics have been saying, not what I say.
Favorite one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, great stuff. I mean, you've produced lots of famous people over the years. Is there again that we mentioned about who you'd like to work with? Is there anybody you'd like to produce?
It just that kind of thing kind of comes along naturally, and like the project with John just came along naturally, and Earth, Wind and Fire, same thing with them, and we did with Maurice. We did so many other productions especially with Japan groups that liked Earth, Wind and Fire, so we would do those projects, and yeah, I mean, I would like to produce it. I love producing, so anybody that kind of thinks that my skills fit their purpose, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. You mentioned when you were growing up, you liked Genesis and things. Was there anybody else who influenced you when you were sort of a young man?
Well, like I said, like Chick Corea, Earth, Wind and Fire for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I really just loved, and which is ironic about that, because when we had the Moody Blues cruise, Greg Lake was on it, one of them, and then Carl Palmer was on the other one.
Yeah.
So I got to meet both of them, so that was neat.
And that's great fun. And did you actually get to play with them?
We didn't play with them, no, because everybody has their own shows.
Ah, it's a shame, isn't it?
But they're fun.
I've heard about these Moody Blues cruises from a lady I know in America. She's tipped me off about these Moody Blues cruises.
Yeah, they're really great, because like one, we had Roger Daltrey on, and had dinner with him, and that was a riot, because he's a great guy.
Yeah, and I mean, we mentioned it now. You actually work with the Moody Blues now. You've joined up with the Moody Blues and you've been playing keyboards with them for a little while.
Yeah, since 2010.
Well, that's 6 years now, wasn't it? 6 years. My maths is terrible in the mornings. And that must be great joining up with a band. They're an established band, but they're also they've had quite a few lineup changes, haven't they, over the years? But it must be very odd that I bet the first day you joined up with them, the new boy in school sort of thing.
Oh, for sure. And I knew them prior to me joining the band, because I was with the same management as them about 20 years ago. So I was actually asked to be in it then, but something didn't work out with the way the managements were talking with each other. So it didn't work out. It was probably always the best thing. And then later, synchronicity happens, and I get a call, and I was asked to join the group. So that was great, and they're again great guys to work with. Really, just can't say enough good things about them.
I mean, you've also written some TV and film scores, haven't you? Or film work, including National Lampoon's Van Wilder, Bridget Jones' Edge of Reason. You did both the soundtracks for those.
Yeah, I did. I didn't do the whole soundtrack.
You did the whole, just
portions of them. I did songs in both of those movies, and then Swimming Upstream, which was with Judy Davis and Jeffrey Rush. That was more scoring, and then all the TV things are all scoring, where I do the whole score, such as Survivor, the Oprah stuff, things like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Oprah Winfrey Show. According to what my research, you're the favoured composer for the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure about that.
Well, that's what I mean. Have you ever met the lady?
But I do get asked to do a lot of stuff, and my stuff's in all it's in all of, not just her shows, but the Dr. Oz shows and whatever shows that she has. All my music's in those too, as well as other composers too. I'm not the only one. There's lots of guys.
Yeah. Have you ever met the lady herself?
I haven't.
You've never.
So I must not be her favorite, right?
I was going to say that.
If I haven't met her, how can I be your favorite?
Well, that's true, actually. It says a favoured composer. It doesn't say favourite. It says favoured on the bit of paper I've got.
Yeah, I know. That's publicist stuff.
Okay. I mean, you've been in the music business for quite a few years. Is there anything you sort of unfulfilled ambitions, or any sort of thing you'd like to do in the music business you've not done?
Yeah, they seem to. I mean, it's all unfulfilled because it keeps moving, doesn't it?
The goalposts,
and I'm still creative, so as long as that taking place, then I'm going to keep wanting to do things, and then I just need outlets for that creativity to come out. So that's when that's the fun part, building things and seeing how they come out.
Because certainly this album, Evolution, and the one before, actually, High Fidelity, they're very, very different from sort of the Moody Blues and any other things you've done before.
Yeah, I know it. I'm kind of...
I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I just don't... I don't know. I don't get stuck in a rut. I can't... I just keep moving on, and that's probably one of the bad things about, maybe that I haven't been able to stick to have one audience, because it's just changing all the time. But that's what I do it for the love of it. I don't really do it for that success part of it.
No. I think actually all great, if you look at it, all great artists have evolved. I mean, you look at people like Elvis Presley, started off with rock and roll, and then he went into ballads, and he did country and western and all that sort of thing. And people like Madonna, she's been around, seems to be forever.
Yeah.
And every year she changes, the style's moved, hasn't it? And I think that's the key, I think, to the biggest success, I think.
Yeah, Sting and Peter Gabriel, they
True.
they do all kinds of different things. It's still them. You can still hear it's them, but they they evolve, which is great.
Yeah. And what would you say the highlight of the musical career has been so far?
Oh, it's just all been one big... I'm so lucky. I've gotten to work with so many, people that I respect, and it seems like, every dream that I had, or aspiration, has come to fruition. Yeah, so I can't pin one, but they've all been great. And always the present is always the best one, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I every artist says that. The new album or the new film they've got out is the best one they've ever done. And I think we're all a bit like that. We listen to the latest song, we listen to the latest movie, and that's the best thing. And I do agree with you, actually. I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But flip it the other way. We mentioned about the highlight. What was the low point of the career? Has there been a low point in your career?
Well, at the beginning, the labels. Well, I was a lead singer also, and so I was going for solo deals, and I did get a couple of them. But as a singer, everybody knows about the voice. They have a particular way they want you to sing, and as I was going through it, this is like I'm 18, 19, and that, and all the record people would tell me, "Oh no, we want you to sound like this, we want you to sound like that," and it got me so screwed up that I had to withdraw from the music thing for a little bit just to get my confidence back again, because they took it away, and that was a really big learning thing for me, not to listen to any outside things like that, only the people that you really trust and respect and know what they're doing. So that was probably the lowest point, I would say.
Okay, you've had a long career, but we won't mention a couple of weeks. The career. Over the career, there's a lot of changes have happened in the music business. What would you say the biggest ones are, and are they good or bad?
Well, of course, the internet has changed everything, and to me, it's good in one way, but real bad in another. I miss the record companies. I miss some of the folks that used to work at them and be really smart and know how to do things, and I think that's missing now. I think everything's ADD. It's right now or it's not.
Yeah, I think people like to, instead of waiting for the album, it used to be lovely to wait, so-and-so's got a new album out, used to wait for it, and used to go off to the record shop or the record store, and used to go and collect it, and then used to take it, or whether it was a single, whether it was vinyl, or whether it be CD, and used to take it home, stick it in your turntable or in your CD player, and there it was. Now, about 5 minutes after midnight, you can download it from certain websites. We won't mention them by name, and it's there for you. You know what I mean? It's it works great for me because I get a lot of the artists like yourself send me your CDs, and they can send them digitally to me via the internet, and it's great. And I think the internet has also been great for music, where it actually can expose people to other people's music.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there's some really good things about it, but it's just so crowded, and I don't know how people find what. I mean, I really don't. It's like a kid in a candy store. I don't know how you pick things.
Yeah, I must admit, if I every week I get sent CDs or music for people that are hoping I'm going to play it on their show. Some are great, some are not so great, and some of them I don't play, and it is. I'm very lucky. I get to choose the great songs that I get to play here on the show, and also, I give some of them away to other guys on the station who also play if it doesn't fit in with my remit.
Okay, let's take a quick break and play another track from the album High Fidelity. This is a song called High Above.
What is this all about? Is there an answer for me? Why can't we open that door? I keep trying to believe. Just let love be the key. I'm going high above the tranquil clouds, high above it all. That's where I dream of you, out in the deepest blue, high above it all. In every moment we live, in every moment we give, there's so many roads we can cross in a day, all on our way to get where we're going. Just let love be the key. High above the tranquil clouds, high above it all. That's where I dream of you, out in the deepest blue, high above it all. High above, so high above it all, high above it all. That's where I dream of you, out in the deepest blue, high above the tranquil clouds.